It makes no difference if you're black or white, if you're a boy or a girl. If the music's pumping, it will give you new life. You're a superstar, yes, that's what you are. Come on, oh, let your body move to the music. Hey, 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 come on, oh, let your body go with the flow. You know you can do it. Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you miss me. While I'm alone and blue as can be, dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear. Still craving your kiss. I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Just saying this. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Tea dreams that leaves the worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear. Still craving your kiss. I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Just saying this. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave the worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of, dream a little dream, dream a little dream. Oh, me. Dream a little dream of me.
Tell you something in your ear. The truth is you're the one who won't disappear. I might have a heart attack if you don't come back in fact. Tonight I'll sleep with your ghost on the left. So dear God, I swim to widen my world. And thank God for all the nights that you curl up in the passenger seat on your knees. You said nothing mean, but the windows are under everything. I love you.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? I'm delighted to welcome you to Emma. My name is Ron Healy. I'm the Programme Manager for National Heritage Week. Before we get started with the ceremony today, I have just some health and safety housekeeping to let you know about. Smoking is only prohibited in the designated areas underneath the colonnades. In the event of emergency, please leave by the nearest exit, all of which are highlighted by green emergency exit signs. And please take a moment now to ascertain the nearest exit to you. In the event of a fire, you'll be directed to the fire assembly point adjacent to the east entrance. The toilets can be found adjacent to the chapel, so just out here at the bottom of the staircase, through the Johnson room as indicated by the signage. So that's back at reception. Thank you for your attention. If there's anything we can do to enhance your experience at Irish Museum of Modern Art, please do not hesitate to contact a member of staff. And then on behalf of myself and the ceremony, Sheila Shoig is going to be our MC today, and she's going to take you through the event. Just things to note, if you are a nominee, you're going to be on stage today. So you're going to either get a winner piece of crystal and also a certificate, or you're going to get a runner-up glass and certificate. And there'll be a photographer here to take your photograph each time you come up on stage. And for the winners, you'll be directed off stage outside here to be interviewed straight after you receive the award. So we'll grab you if you don't remember all of that anyway. So I hope you enjoy yourselves, and without further ado, please welcome our MC for today, Sheila Shoig.
Gymani diarib, ac sa míle fáil trúb fad chuig an ócáid fir speisiúta an Sianja, ac muidir celler le chéile, go rádam hachta náisiúnta na haireachta. Good afternoon, everybody, and you're very welcome to this year's National Heritage Awards in the truly stunning Baroque Chapel here in the Royal Hospital Kilmainham. I'm Sheila Shoig, and I'm delighted to be your host today as we honour and celebrate the amazing work that you're doing in communities across Ireland. I'm thrilled to be with you here. I really am. This is one of my favourite events in the calendar that I work at. I'm always delighted to be asked back as MC. And it's wonderful to see you being celebrated, our wonderful nominees. We also have some of our National Heritage Week partners with us here as well, and we're delighted to have them, along with the sponsors of some of the awards. And welcome as well to our audience online who are clicking in and following things on their laptops at home. Now, 2025 saw the public embrace National Heritage Week as much as ever before. Individuals and communities responded with great enthusiasm to this year's particular theme of exploring our foundations, taking the opportunity to explore how we connect to each other and the connections that bring us together. Now, the Minister of State for Nature, Heritage and Biodiversity, Christopher O'Sullivan, was unable to actually physically be with us here this afternoon, but he was very keen to provide a message of congratulations to each and every one of you, and he's left us this very short video message.
It gives me great pleasure to address you all today at the 2025 National Heritage Week Awards. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be with you in person for today's event, but I'm pleased to get the opportunity to congratulate all of you who have been shortlisted for an award. As Minister of State for Nature, Heritage and Biodiversity, I have the privilege of working in areas that I am personally passionate about, and I have been further inspired by the range of dedicated and equally passionate people I have met across the heritage sector since taking up this office. The Heritage Council has continually worked hard for this sector over the last number of years, and with increased funding from my department, we have together been able to support more heritage practitioners, local authorities, community groups and heritage organisations than ever before across its 30-year history. I look forward to continuing to work together on some really exciting initiatives over the coming months and years. One of our most important programmes, National Heritage Week, also continues to grow and evolve, with over 2,500 events organised this year, the most in its history. My department will continue to support its development with the aim of bringing these wonderful events to as many people as possible. National Heritage Week celebrates Ireland's cultural, built and natural heritage in a way that is meaningful and significant. It brings together volunteers, community groups and heritage enthusiasts to share their knowledge, culture and practices. While these awards recognise and celebrate some of the projects that were showcased in National Heritage Week this year, I would also like to take a moment to recognise everyone who took part across all the events across the 9 days. National Heritage Week, of course, couldn't happen without you, the event organisers, and I want to thank all of you for the contributions you make for sharing your knowledge and your passion with the public. I would like to congratulate once again the shortlisted candidates and the winners across the variety of categories, including the Heritage Hero Award and all of the winners of awards at county level. This recognition is richly deserved. I hope you all enjoy the evening, and thank you very much for listening.
Gurmina Mahada Ada. He obviously thinks you're going to make a night of it. Now, before we begin our presentations, please give a warm welcome to the CEO of the Heritage Council, Virginia Teehan.
Thank you, Sheila. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the 2025 National Heritage Week Award Ceremony. Today, I'm pleased to be talking to you from the beautiful chapel here at the Royal Hospital Kilmainham, and I would like to take this opportunity to extend a thank you to all of you here today for the contribution you make to the health of our sector through the events that you organise throughout the year. I know how much work and effort goes into making these events happen, and I know how your events can light a spark in others, and these people can continue to carry the flame forwards. Today is an opportunity for all of you to reflect on your achievements and also to meet with others from across the country who are equally as committed and as passionate as you are to celebrating and protecting our heritage. I also want to welcome and thank Martina Maloney, Chairperson of the Heritage Council. Martina's commitment to heritage is well known across all the sector, and it's great to have her here today with us. And again, I want to thank her for all her hard works, and her work is voluntary because she works day in, day out to ensure that she advocates for us at all levels across government and civil society. For National Heritage Week 2025, the Heritage Council invited individuals, communities and organisations to develop projects across the theme Exploring Our Foundations, and it was a huge success. This year, over 2,500 events took place, an increase of 150 events on last year. And today is about recognising the individuals and communities right across the country who have organised these events, which celebrate our heritage in different but equally important ways. National Heritage Week continues to be one of the most important initiatives in Ireland, where communities, interest groups, heritage sites, cultural institutions and others all try to open their doors, real or imagined, to everyone, and mostly at no cost. And to me, National Heritage Week is a demonstration of collective purpose, of community. It's where we pass knowledge that we value, and we pass this knowledge and interest to younger generations, and remind everybody to take a breath and reflect on what matters and what we value about the place where we live. By hosting these awards, the Heritage Council is recognising the importance of place, an importance that cannot be expressed in monetary terms, but has an impact that resonates beyond Heritage Week itself. At the Heritage Council, we know we must continue to support you, to encourage you, to enable you, and importantly, to say thanks. And before leaving here today, I would also like to extend my thanks to several people. Firstly, our partners, Fáilte Ireland, the Irish Landmark Trust, RTE Supporting the Arts, the Local Authority Waters Programme, the Office of Public Works, the Heritage and Biodiversity Officers Networks, the Irish Times, and our colleagues at the Department of Housing, Local Government and Heritage. and many of the representatives of those organisations are in this room today. It's lovely to see you, and thank you. These organisations are key in helping the Heritage Council to share the wonderful built natural and cultural heritage projects that make National Heritage Week what it is. The partners are also provide invaluable resources for project organisers as they develop and research their projects. I also want to wish to thank our award sponsors, the Local Authorities Waters Programme and the Department of Children, Disability and Equality. I'd also like to welcome members of the Murahirte family here again this year. We have created an award in the name of their father, Mihal Murahirte, who was such a wonderful champion for all aspects and expressions of our heritage, tangible and intangible. Across the country and at county level, National Heritage Week is coordinated by local authority heritage officers and now also the local authority biodiversity officers, their colleagues in local authorities and numerous local groups and organisations. I want to particularly thank these networks of officers for their partnerships with us in the delivery of National Heritage Week and for working so hard and diligently throughout the year. We could not coordinate this festival or indeed do our work without them. Sheila Shoiga has again agreed to host today's event. I want to thank Sheila for her support for heritage and for the work that she and her colleagues across all broadcast media do throughout the year in showcasing our wonderful heritage and for their growing support for our work. I know we have a real friend with Sheila and with many of our colleagues across the media. National Heritage Week, or indeed today's event, does not happen by accident. It requires huge coordination, planning, and at times, if I'm honest, a fair bit of crisis management. I want to acknowledge the professionalism of the team at the Heritage Council. Firstly, Ronan Healy, the National Heritage Week coordinator, and his colleagues in our Communications and Public Affairs section, Martina Malone and Pierce O'Queeve. They do sterling work day in, day out, and we appreciate their commitment. I also want to say a special word of thanks to other colleagues at the Heritage Council. We're joined here today by Tara Fitzgerald and Susan Garrett, who again are great supporters of our work and very fine colleagues. They do a lot of the heavy lifting in the background, and indeed they're the people who answer the phone, who make the entries in the website, who correct the many errors that I make in doing my job, and they're there silently in the background, committed, passionate, and very deeply involved in all elements of our work. Today, here at the Royal Hospital, we're supported by an excellent production team, and they make this event run smoothly, and each year we're enhancing the professionalism of what we do. So we appreciate your input. Thank you. Finally, I would like to both welcome and thank all of you here today for your attendance. I especially want to thank you for your interest in and support for heritage. We at the Council, the staff, the board, and all of us appreciate all that you do. Thank you for your time, for being here this afternoon, and I hope that you really enjoy today's event. Gurv Mila Mahagov Galer.
Mila Mahad, Virginia, and as I said, it's a genuine privilege. I really mean that, to be involved in today's event. I love hearing about the projects. I love getting to talk to you on stage. So before we get going, best luck, everybody. I know you're probably feeling nervous. Everybody in the room is going to be recognised, whether you're the overall winner or whether you're a runner-up, but you're doing incredible work. You should be so proud of yourselves to be here today and to get the recognition that you deserve. So look, we've 8 awards in total, which includes the prestigious Heritage Hero Award, which is always a highlight, and a reminder of the process today. So we'll be starting each category with a short video of our 3 shortlisted finalists. Our winner will join us on stage, take a few photos. Alf will be taking the photos, and then I'll have a very quick chat, like one question, really essentially wanting to find out what it means to be recognised like this here today. Off you'll go, you can relax and enjoy, and then we'll be bringing up our runners-up in no particular order, and they'll be collecting their certificates, again some photos, and off you go. So that's how it's going to work. Presenting the awards today, we'll have, of course, our CEO of the Heritage Council, Virginia Tehan, and the Chair of the Heritage Council, Martina Maloney, who's going to speak to us later on. Okay, let's get going. The first award today is the Inclusive Award. This is an award to celebrate those organisers that design events for maximum involvement of community members. It's awarded to an event that has made a very special effort to share heritage with everybody in the community, including those who are new to heritage, those who don't have local roots, or those who have additional accessibility needs. So let's take a look now at our nominees. And the winner of the Inclusive Award for 2025 is Mila Valley Heritage Day County Cork by Mila Valley Community Centre. Congratulations, our first winners here this afternoon. We'll just step out here because we want to make sure that those who are watching us at home can see you really clearly as well. Well done. Tell us about the inspiration for your particular event.
Okay, well, the inspiration for our event was the light of childhood memories in our valued elders in our community. And we took those childhood memories and we made a beautiful documentary, The Voices of the Valley. And then we took that documentary back to our community. So we brought together everybody. It brought together people that were new to the valley, children making butter with their great-grandparents, turf cutters and, furze machines, and everybody had such a beautiful day. But at the centre of it was celebrating and honouring our older members of our community. So we really hope to take their wisdoms and bring that forward into the future and allow our whole community to put value upon them. So it was a beautiful day. Yeah.
It sounds like it was magic. Well done and congratulations. Our first winners this afternoon, Mila Valley, Cohordachasli. Great, well done. Okay, let's invite now our first runner-up on stage. Again, no particular order. Please give a round of applause to the Parish of the Travelling People for their event, the photographic collections of the Parish of the Travelling People. Congratulations. Okay, our next runner-up is Tuberclare Local Action Group for their event commemorative 200th anniversary of the construction of the Low Road. Please put your hands together for them. And congratulations to our first award winners. Next up, we have the Sustainability and Climate Award, which is awarded to the event or project that's best demonstrated a very special effort to incorporate environmentally friendly practices to reduce our carbon footprint and impact on the national world, and an event that provided education on the impact of climate change and good sustainability practices. Such incredibly vital work, especially in these times. Let's take a look at the nominees. And the winner of the Sustainability and Climate Award for 2025 is Native Woodland Re-establishments by the Woodlands of Ireland. Congratulations. Congratulations. Let's have a quick word first and you can collect your certificate afterwards. So, well done. Míle fáilte. Inistum fui on Seachtain seo stoi, like this very special week, and how I suppose that helped you spread the message of how important sustainability is in today's climate.
Well, with Heritage Week, it's a pivotal week to give the public the opportunity to involve themselves in local heritage, including the native aspect, as well as built heritage, should I say, local heritage and native heritage. But I think with our event, we had a workshop in a native woodland in Sligo, and it had the opportunity for people to get involved in to see how native woodland establishment takes place on an operative level basis. So you can see the practicalities of getting right in at the operative level. So, thank you.
Well done. Cohordachas. Buatud and Sha Inya, well done. If you want to collect your certificate, fantastic. And let's move on now with our runners-up again in no particular order. We have Leitrim Environmental Network for their event, Gardening for Wildlife event. Okay, and our next runners up are Bear Island Projects Group for their event Foraging from Land to Sea on Bear Island. Okay, we're moving on now to the Irish Language Award. Jenan an grad an gaeilge cellere an gaeilge. Agus brontar an gradam se an imimecht nó an tonscadal a hála trí gaeilge nó is sprág ránfáirteocht nó gníomhíocht an gaeilge. Agus cahamid súranis na himachtaí a cuireadh an ngearlasta sa cheatagóir seo. Agus an buaitead ná Galway County Council lenne nimimecht taibricha bannaí na Gaillimhe có háidecha sléomh. Okay, ítach le coháirdecha slíomh gaile láramid fear secondín an seo. So, inis an cecht tábhachtachas a bhí sé imimecht a reachtú tí réige.
Se bhfuil sé crí lán na tí an gailge, agus chun sé fíor ónóir am bhaint seo. Sé ceann leintí is breachta go híal an seo. Agus bheith bródú leis an gailge, agus chunig í gríime ará, sna lígí glub go deoí, agus tugaí an drámógaí le an reanna siad amachta.
Agus tá rudí a fáú nach hfuil?
Tábhaid leachtaí chéile tá, agus nóú hain tá chuineal mé fphobal le gailge goin. Leúna dé agus tá sí fésa chu lá agus spéis sí ní cháilimidí má sin taireachtaí agus sin stéirí.
Sáchráte, fairpléachid coháirdechas. An job go Joe Duntagaí. Galway County Council are winners of the Irish Language Award. Carcían ar fad. Agus inis na grúpaí sna darna háit, sa chéad grúpa tain ná, Kildare le gaige, le ní nimimecht Cairlan tógála báid, chuig íbhar lábha le chéile chob. Agus an grúp eile ná, Museum Oigan na Héireann le ní nimimecht ar munchlachanna a isrú éireacht há lábhsethe. Okay, the Heritage Council was very pleased to partner on 2 awards once again this year. First up, we have the Wild Child Award, which is sponsored by the Department of Children, Equality, Disability, Integration and Youth Affairs. And we'd like to welcome on stage their representative, Nicole Kernan, to announce the winner in this category.
Thank you, Sheila. I'm delighted that the Department of Children, Disability and Equality had the opportunity to be involved in the National Heritage Week by sponsoring the Wild Child Award. The Wild Child Award is presented to an event or project that most successfully encourages children and families to get outdoors, to explore their local heritage and learn about biodiversity. Wild Child embodies the sentiment of the first 5 whole-of-government strategy through building strong and supportive communities, encouraging optimum physical and mental health and promoting positive play-based early learning. The projects were assessed in their local reach and community engagement, awareness raising, use of resources and the level to which they involve the different age groups. The standard of the award submissions was incredibly high. All of those involved should be extremely proud of their wonderful projects which are enjoyed by so many children across the country. Congratulations to all involved. Here is a short video of the shortlisted entries for this category. This year's winner ran a brilliant family-friendly event where children and their families learnt about all about one of Ireland's native semi-aquatic creatures, how to look for their tracks and build one of their houses. With authored expert Albert Nolan, I am pleased to announce that the winner of the Wild Child Award for 2025 is Rivers Trust Limerick for their event all about otters. I'd like to welcome them onto the stage.
Congratulations. What's your secret, running an event with children and teaching them about the wonders of nature?
I think it was about having fun. We were really pleased that Albert Nolan, who's a Heritage in Schools educator, could be with us, and he made it so fun for all of the different children. So much so that the Otter Holt became a photo booth. So that was the secret, I think.
Well done. Would you like to add anything?
I have a lot to say about otters, so you've asked the wrong person. I think when it comes to natural heritage, I think they're just the most dynamic, charming, and it's such a way to connect children to nature, and that's such an essential part of health and well-being for the future.
Beautifully said. Well done, well done. Our winners of the Wild... Okay, and again, in no particular order, our first runner-up in this category is Moon Tour for their event, Bilingual Heritage Tour of Thunleeda Harbour for Families. Our next runner-up is Sea Synergy for their event Shoreline Marine Creature Survey. Now, unfortunately, Sea Synergy themselves not able to be with us today. We have a representative from Maharees to collect a certificate on their behalf, and we're very, very grateful. Okay, for our next award, which is the Water Heritage Day Award, I'd like to invite Margaret Morrissey from the Local Authority Waters Programme, who are a partner of National Heritage Week and kindly sponsored this particular award. She's going to say a few words and announce the winner in this category. Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you, Sheila. The Local Authority Waters Programme is delighted to partner with the Heritage Council for Water Heritage Day 2025. The partnership is now in its 5th year and it's become a very important date in our annual calendar. The Local Authority Waters Programme works throughout the country and is building networks of active communities with knowledge, skills and capacity to make a difference to their local water body, from creating awareness events to undertaking river restoration projects. So Heritage Week, and particularly Water Heritage Day, is a wonderful opportunity to celebrate our rivers, lakes, streams, estuaries, any water body really. It offers groups and communities the space to showcase their local environment, and in many cases it's an opportunity to openly acknowledge the hard work and the achievements of the past year. The theme this year of exploring our foundations really sparked the imagination, and there was a great variety of combined built, natural and cultural events throughout the country. In 2025, LawPro funded 85 events on Water Heritage Day. And while this is considerable and it's easily measured, it's even more significant is the support, the encouragement and the guidance provided by our communities team during Heritage Week and throughout the year. And it's a real privilege for us to work with all the wonderful groups in the country. And the nominees for this year are and I'm delighted to announce the winner. It's a nice job. Paddling the Past, a heritage kayak tour of the River Bride by Connacht Community Council.
Congratulations. You're not prepared. But isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely not to be prepared? But it's a good surprise. Congratulations. Where did the idea come from?
So I suppose my own kids love to paddle in the river near Hearn, and there's a lovely riverbank there. It's kind of underutilized a little bit, but it's lovely for families to come and like have picnics and stuff. And there's an old church there that's normally closed to the public. So we wanted to share that with the community, have that open on the day. I engaged with Donica on the kayaking side, and then Tom is our local kind of historian, so he gave some talks on the local history. And then Ellen from Law Pro stepped in as well and was doing water samples on the day to show the kids all the different species.
And come here, were you involved? Were you organising it all, really, behind the scenes?
Yeah.
I think you might be the genius behind it. What's your own name?
Arthur.
Arthur. Arthur Oak, brilliant. So Arthur Moore, you were very much involved as well. So a wonderful example of community effort, people pulling together For the greater good. Well done. I love the fact that you weren't expecting this. So very worthy winners. Please put your hands together for our Water Heritage winners. Congratulations. Okay, now let's find out who, of course, our runners-up are in no particular order. First up, we have Ballycumber, Tidy Towns of Freshwater, Ballycumber, Brosna for their event, For the Love of Bats. It's like a reunion of sorts, seeing teams and people who are working in the heritage category across the country every year. It's nice to see people again, so congratulations. Okay, next runner-up is Friends of the Upper Annalee for their event, Spears of the Water, an evening of music and spoken word at the Tin Church, Lara. Congratulations. Now, the Heritage Council aims to support events and projects across the country, as we all know, and one way of acknowledging people's contribution is through the County Award. This award category celebrates an exceptional event or project from every participating local authority that took place as part of Heritage Week. And we've compiled this short video with all of the County Award winners, which gives a really good sense of what National Heritage Week is all about. Take a look at this. wonderful example of the diversity of projects happening all over the country. Let's give them a round of applause. And well done. All the winners and runners-up on your fantastic contribution. I've no doubt that your work and efforts are very much appreciated by your communities and your counties. Okay, last year we saw a brand new award added to the roster of national categories, the Mícheál Ó Muircheartaigh Award. Obviously, this has huge significance, huge poignancy, as it celebrates all aspects of our intangible cultural heritage. This award is presented to an event or a project that encouraged a greater appreciation of an element of our intangible cultural heritage, including crafts, skills, customs and practices. And we are delighted to say that to announce the nominees, Cudaigh Fáilte Ribh, Angus agus Tuireann Ní Muircheartaigh.
A ghuine úsle a cháirde, is mór an ár doing a bhean seo inniu leis an ngradam seo runna. It's a great honour to be here today to present the Mícheál Ó Muircheartaigh Gradam Dúchais, the Intangible Cultural Heritage Award. The award celebrates our living heritage, the traditional customs, pastimes and crafts, and those that protect, promote and revitalise those traditions in their communities. Chad dad a héal a play le cuasaí sport, cultúr agus oidhreacht agus teanga. Dad's interest in sport is well known, and he was also a huge advocate for all elements of culture, language and heritage in the broadest sense of the word. So it's lovely to see the legacy continued in this award. And on a personal note, thank you from the entire family for keeping his memory going. Here's a short video of this year's nominees. And I'm delighted to announce this year's winner, celebrating Irish road bowling at Ballyvolane House.
Let's stand in here and we can have a chat. So road bowling, talk to me about it and how you decided to zone in on that particular area of our heritage. You're being pointed at, so you're the person to answer this question.
We wanted to celebrate road bowling because...
Let me turn you around so I want everybody at home to see.
Because it's a unique, ancient, kind of Irish sport and tradition that was played in our locality in Cork, and that dates back centuries, and we wanted to try kind of help keep that tradition and custom going. So yeah, we'd.
Absolutely. So come here, I'm guessing that you were road bowling as a young lad.
Years ago, 53 years ago, I was driving along the road between Kenny's Cross and the kennels, and a missile came towards me. And there were very few cars then, but I managed to dodge it. And we had a cheerful way, but it was wonderful to see it all going on.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, well done. Congratulations. Road bowling is very much alive, and well done for all your efforts. Cohardachas Leib. Could you give a Chéile? Okay, our first runner-up is West Clare Curragh Club for their event Kilkee Curragh Presentation and Regatta. Cohardachas Leib. We also have Maharees Conservation Association for their event, the Maharees Castle Gregory Onion Basket Revival. Okay, wonderful. I've been told that it's the Castle Gregory Agricultural Show along with Maharees, so I had to clarify it to make sure, because it was very much a dual project, so well done. Okay, as you're all aware, this year's theme for National Heritage Week was Exploring Our Foundations, and the theme celebrates the heritage of those we are. This year, we have a very special award to acknowledge those events that set out to share the theme of Exploring Our Foundations in their very own way. So here are the nominees for the Exploring Our Foundations Awards. And the winner is Sailing into Wellness for their event 8K Illan, Ireland's last wooden ocean-going ship. talk about the theme. When you heard about it, how did you feel? Did you feel, okay, this makes sense, we're going to go with this?
Yeah, 100%. The theme of exploring our foundations, I suppose, is kind of, in a sense, it's core to the island, the boat that we ran our tours on. For sailing into wellness, connection, and I think with heritage too, it's the key of it all. Whether that's connecting with communities or connecting with Ireland's maritime heritage. And the AK Island is Ireland's last wooden ocean-going commercial vessel. And as if that wasn't enough, the designer and the first skipper of the boat, Conor O'Brien, was the first person ever cruising to circumnavigate the globe south of the Capes. And on top of that, he was involved in gun running in Howth for the 1916 Rising. So for our participants, being on board the boat is a direct link to our maritime heritage, which is a huge part of Ireland's heritage. And being able to share the boat with the wider community in Kinsale, Cork, and just people with a maritime interest in general was just such a privilege, because we're all so proud of the boat.
Yeah, well, you can tell you are. I mean, this must have been so satisfying to work on.
Oh, it's an honour. Yeah, it's an absolute honour. The boat's 99 years old, so next year is her big birthday.
Okay. Celebrations aplenty.
100%.
Wonderful. Well done. Congratulations. Fair play, it's cóthardachas. Okay, and our first runner-up is Echoes of Old Athlone by the Connacht Street and Environs Group. And our next runners-up are Michael Dwyer 200 Committee, Arklow Municipal District, Wicklow County Council for their event, Michael Dwyer 200 Bicentenary of the Michael Dwyer, the Wicklow Chief. Now, without a doubt, one of the highlights of the National Heritage Awards is, of course, our final award of the day. It's the Heritage Hero Award. The recipient each year is somebody who works tirelessly to develop the heritage of their area and makes it accessible to people through involving the wider community, and who displays an outstanding contribution to the protection and promotion of heritage. And I'd like to welcome Joe Gallagher, who is the Heritage Officer for County Donegal, who's going to introduce our wonderful recipient this year. Put your hands together for Joe.
Good Sheila. It's my pleasure to be here this afternoon to introduce the National Heritage Hero for 2025, Paula Harvey. Paula was the first curator of our county museum in Donegal and returned to work for Donegal County Council many years later as our first field monument advisor, which was an initiative between the Heritage Council and local authorities in Ireland. And Paula added during that tenure and since then has added significantly to the archaeological heritage record for Donegal, identifying and rediscovering some of our lost archaeological treasures, which now form part of the statutory record of monuments and places. Paula's background in archaeology and education has also seen her deliver numerous courses in heritage and archaeology, both in a formal education sector and also in the community sector, engaging and inspiring people to get involved in heritage in their own localities. But Paula's been instrumental as well in conserving our heritage and promoting our heritage. One of the recent examples is Doon Fort, a western stone fort in West Donegal. And I think many of you here will know, and indeed many people listening in will know, the amount of effort that goes into delivering a heritage project. And this project has been ongoing over 10 years. It's not just the actual work itself, but it's all the preparatory work that's involved in doing the background research, which is very important. And again, in the case of Doon Fort, again, Paula and her team there applied to the Heritage Council under the Community Heritage Grant Scheme, and that allowed that initial research to begin. There was also support as well available under the Adopt a Monument Scheme, another Heritage Council programme that provided advice, support and mentorship to deliver a heritage project. But then there's also the whole issue of securing funding. And again, if you look at the litany of funding streams that were used and Paula applied to secure that individual project, whether it be the Community Heritage Grant Scheme from the Heritage Council, the Community Monuments Fund, the Creative Ireland Programme, the Leader Programme, Donegal County Council. It just goes to show the amount of work that's involved in that. And again, this work is done on a voluntary basis by people like Paula all across the country. And again, Paula has brought attention as well to the archaeological heritage of West Donegal. RTE, Channel 4 have covered the project on Doon Fort. Paula has also been involved with Heritage Week since its inception. And through her work with the Donegal Gap Heritage and History Group, they organise an event every year for Heritage Week. And they're no stranger actually to the National Heritage Week Awards. I think back to 2014, and actually the group won 2 awards, the best community event and the best overall event that year, for actually at the start of their work on Doon Fort. And I remember the improvised craft, the homemade improvised craft that they created in order to bring people to the fort, which is in a lake. And again, it was, you probably want to ask Paula a little bit more about that later on, and she'll tell you the story behind that. But over the course of the weekend, over 200 people came to the island to see the Doon Fort and to hear about the history and heritage of the area and to take part in the activities that took place there. In 2020, the group won the County Heritage Award. And this was, again, during a difficult period for all of us during lockdown. But again, continuing that link with our heritage through promoting heritage online and telling the stories about some of the artifacts and places that relate to heritage. And Paula was central to that. In 2023, the group was also runner-up in the Living Heritage Award for the treasure in our bogs. So again, the breadth of heritage that Paula has addressed over the years is tremendous. And again, I could go on. There's a Warp and Weft conference that was held in Ardra, her work on the Spanish Armada. But we're going to take a look at a short film now that will highlight just some of the work that Paula has undertaken over the last number of years.
The Heritage Hero Award is one of the most important awards we award annually. It celebrates those great volunteers in the community who contribute year on year to the protection of our heritage. This year's recipient, I'm really pleased to say, is Paula Harvey. And Paula is associated with wonderful work across Donegal.
I couldn't tell you now how I met Paula. I think it was in regards to the Spanish Armada. We met Paula, and then we discovered we met a machine, a heritage machine. The Ardra shipwreck is definitely on the books now and known about, and that is because Paula started that project.
I've known Paula for about 20 years when she was appointed as Field Monument Advisor for County Donegal. She came in and met the committee in Kilcar. She was a regular visitor, and as a result, we about doubled, or very nearly doubled, the amount of monuments that were registered in the parish.
She's become an inspiration for me and a lot of other people, you know, in terms of getting involved in the heritage in the community and the history, and, you know, having an appreciation for it. Paula's always there. She always has a plan, you know, to drive and get the thing through, you know, and get it to the next stage. We've just recently completed the latest phase under the Community Monuments Fund, and that's a testament to Paula. It simply wouldn't be where it is today without Paula's drive and determination.
I learned from Paula you should never give up your passion for what you really enjoy doing, because she really does personify that commitment and passion to what she likes to do. So it was quite inspiring actually to see how committed she is and how much she's prepared to give of her own time freely and relentlessly to pursue what we all are going to get the benefit from for years to come.
One of the most memorable things I remember about Paula was one of her Armada walk and talks, and just the wealth of knowledge that she had was just unbelievable. I mean, I would hate to think where we would be if she wasn't here, and you know, I think we'd have all of these monuments and literally no access to them, no appreciation of them, and indeed, you know, I'm just thinking in Doonfort in particular, it would probably have fallen into the lake at this point, you know, because of all the work that she, I suppose, engineered to get it into the state that it is now. So yeah, we'd be in a much worse place, I think, if it weren't for her.
Really, from the relatively ancient history of Doonfort to the Spanish Armada, to the local holy wells, to the treasures in our bogs, to the exploration of the place names, and even to links to Disney films and the folklore of the leprechauns. Paula's brought all that to life over the last number of years in a way that's been really accessible, interesting, respectful to the history and heritage as well. The name Paula Harvey is synonymous with sound, heritage and history activity. And certainly as far as I'm concerned, she is a local hero for heritage and history that's well deserved.
My sister was going to an archaeology class here in the Dolman Centre. I decided, right, sure, I'll try this class to see what it's like. And that's how I met Paula. Paula's enthusiasm and knowledge created a spark in me, and to the extent that I actually went back to college. It's given me a whole new life after retirement. So it's just, I'd like to thank her for instilling that in me, and the enjoyment that I've got out of it is immeasurable. There's so many things that if it weren't for Paula, it wouldn't have been done.
The National Heritage Hero Award is given to an individual who has an outstanding contribution to the preservation, conservation, promotion and enhancement of heritage in the country. Paula is enthusiastic and passionate about heritage, and in particular our archaeological heritage. Paula has been a driving force behind the conservation of several archaeological heritage sites in the county. She also delivers community education outreach programs in heritage and archaeology. She writes for local history publications, and every year she organises Heritage Week events, some of which have received national recognition in their own right. So for her work and commitment to heritage in the county, I think she's a very fitting recipient of this year's National Heritage Hero Award.
My love of heritage started by my mother.
She loved archaeology, she loved going around to monuments. You know, once I finished my Leaving Cert, I really knew what I wanted to do.
What work would you like to be remembered for?
People, inspiring people and making friendships with people and just inspiring people to appreciate their own heritage. And that's, you know, that's something that I hope I instilled in people and continue to do, and hopefully I will be able to do it in the future as well. And of course, you know, I'm so proud that Dún Fort is going to stand for another 1,000 years or more.
So for her enthusiasm, effort and dedication to the preservation, protection, conservation and enhancement of our heritage, I'm delighted to welcome this year's National Heritage Hero, Paula Harvey.
Paula, you're an absolute powerhouse. And you're great crack. We spoke earlier. I was listening to you yesterday on the radio with Brendan Courtney. It's all going on at the moment. How are you handling all this attention?
I'm speechless. For a change, I'm speechless. No, I'm actually overwhelmed, but in a good way, in a positive way. And I really want to thank everybody that nominated me. And this was the best conspiracy theory ever in Southwest Donegal. And I want to say a special thank you, because he's not here today, is Conor White, who is the instigator of this whole, as I say, conspiracy. I knew nothing about it until Virginia phoned me 3 weeks ago and told me, which said, I've good news for you. And I thought, did we put in for a heritage or a grant that we didn't know anything about? But she told me that stage. But I was also sworn to secrecy. Because they wanted to make a public announcement. That public announcement only came out yesterday, which was a long time to hold on to a secret. Now, half of Southwest Donegal knew the secret, so fairness to them, they kept that secret for at least 2 weeks. What it means to me is, I suppose, it's like having 40 years of your life or more. Starting out when I was a young student, and I'm so delighted here that I have here today one of my first lecturers of archaeology, Dr. Seamus Caulfield, as part of our guest group. Delighted that he's here, and that was my first excavation in North Mayo, where the Cage of Fields were, but we were on a smaller little site, the Cage of Fields, or the Balderrick. And that's where I started to get smitten. And
what age are you at that stage?
Young. Yes. Seamus will tell you later. He did say it was 47 years, not 45, so we believe him. I was about 17 or 18.
Wow. And then you mentioned, obviously, in the video that your mother had a lot to do with. So she instilled that love and the importance of conserving, you know, what we have here in you from an early age.
She did indeed. And as I saw, we grew up in Carlow, not very far from Browns Hill, Dalman. And that was, I won't say our playground, but it was where we would have visited nearly every summer, or every Sunday. And it was part of our upbringing, and it was, heritage came natural to us. And
I mentioned to you earlier, my mother is from Inishmeon, one of the Aran Islands, and like that again, just what you said there, like for us, Drún Chrochar was that, you know, or Drún Faroe, you know, where you would just play around them and it was your normal, you know, and I suppose from an early age you can have that appreciation. Obviously you brought it to incredible heights and what you've done, the impact you've had on people. I mean, you're adored by the people you connect with. You can feel it. It's really powerful. I mean, I was trying to keep it together at the side of the stage. I'm not going to lie.
What do you think I'm feeling?
Is it weird to have this attention? Because
I have 2 sons out in San Diego, or at least I think one is.
Are they watching now?
Watching live. So, Kieran, Connor.
Oh, fantastic. Isn't it great that they can be here with you and watch it and soak it all up as well? They must be so proud of you.
Yeah, they are. Of me. Yes. I'm the mammy, the hero.
Oh, well, look please put your hands together once again for such a deserving recipient of the Heritage Hero Award, Paula Harvey. Okay, absolutely brilliant. We have come to the end of our ceremony, and to officially draw to a close, please put your hands together for the chairperson of the Heritage Council, Martina Maloney.
Carja, tá sé de frivloid a gom bheith an seo inniu chun an ceiliúra úntach seo. Tá sé seo antáhachtach de cóirla na haireachta. Tá míid ag féachint na tionscadáil agus na himachtaí teaspáint I rithne thócáide seo inniu. Táim cínta nach bhfuil buil buí do todhchaí na haireachta sa tír seo. I am really delighted to join with all here today to celebrate and acknowledge the contribution of so many people to our National Heritage Week. And indeed, all I've heard, the positivity I've seen in the room since we got here today is uplifting for us who work with the Heritage Council and for heritage in Ireland. The enthusiasm, the good humour, the vision, the excitement that they bring to the work that they do. Everybody we've met here today has that sense of ownership of what it is to be part of Ireland's heritage and to make sure that it's protected and conserved and understood to be as important as it is. I'm delighted to join with you all here today to celebrate and acknowledge Heritage Week's contribution, and in particular the theme we had for 2025 around exploring our foundations. It inspired such a wonderful variety of events and projects throughout the country, looking closely at the roots of our heritage and stories and traditions that ground us, and indeed our shared history that connects us all. Today is a day when the heritage sector gets the opportunity to get together, to take stock, and to celebrate all that is positive about our work. We don't often get a chance to be in the same room together, to swap ideas and explore synergies and to build new relationships. And it's particularly gratifying to see these exchanges happening today. And the hour we had before the formalities began, I could see the enthusiasm of people learning about other people's projects as well. While the Heritage Council's role is to manage and facilitate National Heritage Week, it is the enthusiasm and passion of event organisers and project organisers and our volunteers that really make it happen. It's a celebration of our built natural and cultural heritage. And looking at how things unfolded this year, there is so much to be positive about across the entire heritage spectrum. One of the things that really appeals to me is the number of intergenerational projects that we have seen here today. And indeed, in events throughout the country for National Heritage Week. If I can reflect on my own experience of Heritage Week this year, I had a wonderful week. And among the events I attended was the launch of a biodiversity plan in Kilkenny. Our I did a heritage walk in Galway City, where I'm fortunate enough to live. I thought I knew something about the heritage of Galway City, having lived there for so long, but I learned a lot on that walk that day. I also had the pleasure to attend a Waltz Towns event in Wexford, which was absolutely stunning. And I attended a lecture on the archaeology around Oranmore in Galway, run by the Discovery Programme. Everywhere I went, I learned something new, and I met really enthusiastic local people who care about their place and their heritage. I look at the event today that we saw, hosted by Sailing into Wellness and Exploring Our Foundations Award winner this year. I'm inspired by how they brought a vital part of Ireland's maritime story back to life. Their event celebrated the remarkable legacy that we heard about here today of the AK Island, one of Ireland's last surviving traditionally built wooden ocean-going ships. And we heard some of the trajectory of its path today, which was fascinating. Originally constructed, as we know, in Cork in 1926, so it's about to be 100 years old next year. The Fishery School in Baltimore in Cork, and it sailed by Conor O'Brien to the Falkland Islands. Just imagine that for a boat built in Cork. The island served as a transport vehicle for over 70 years before returning in 1998. And after a decade-long restoration, the ship now sails with Sailing into Wellness, offering therapeutic and educational programs to communities across Ireland. Congratulations on the work you've done. It is truly remarkable. I also look at Ballyvalan House and the winners of the Micheál Murchurthy Gradam Dúchais, who hosted a special afternoon celebrating the tradition of Irish road bowling, particularly its deep roots in northeast Cork. The event shone a light on the enduring social and cultural importance of this historic sport, bringing together players, enthusiasts, and newcomers to share in a living tradition that has been passed down from generation to generation. It is a brilliant example of how local heritage can inspire pride and community connection. And I'm really glad that that near accident was averted back in 53 years ago. There were, of course, 2,500 events in total this year for Heritage Week, each one making its own valuable contribution to protecting, preserving, and promoting our heritage. Obviously, we couldn't bring representatives from 2,500 events here today, but I think it's a credit to everybody who's represented here today that you are seen as the cream of the crop of 2,500 sets of volunteers all over Ireland protecting their heritage. Congratulations to you all. Today's awards are a chance to say thank you for the outstanding work and collective efforts of all participants. The awards reflect the values that focus the National Heritage Week each year, and 2025 was no different. National Heritage Week continues to broaden its scope, including a wider variety of people from within our heritage community, and it also brings people together. The winners of this year's Inclusive Heritage Award, the Meala Valley Heritage Day by Meala Valley Community Centre, is another great example. This event is a shining example of what National Heritage Week is all about, bringing the entire community together to share in and celebrate local heritage. And by welcoming people of all ages and backgrounds, they created a truly inclusive experience that honours the past while building strong connections for the future. And I was really struck by the number of what I'll call young people, as a retiree myself, here today who were involved in events and who were here to demonstrate the wonderful enthusiasm they carry for heritage and the contribution they will make to ensuring our heritage is correctly managed into the future. Ní bháin sin ach tá ar ngradam Gaeilge ag dul go tubartha banathe chun den Gaillimhe im líana. Agus is mór atá sé tiltte acu. Tá sé ar intin a going an Gael leis an pobal na Gaeilge a ládrú a ríis an bhliain seo cuain. And of course, I want to acknowledge the wonderful heritage hero that we have heard about here today. We've heard of her enthusiasm, her knowledge, her dedication, her commitment to heritage. And I suppose what she has managed to achieve through working with and through others is a fantastic example of the very many wonderful heritage volunteers we have all over Ireland. I congratulate her. It's a wonderful day for her, and it's wonderful to see the work she has done in County Donegal acknowledged in this way. Each year we have the County Heritage Awards, and we saw on the video the wonderful variety of events that took place all over Ireland. This is an opportunity to give further recognition to those who took the time to get involved in National Heritage Week. We know it takes time, we know it takes effort, and we know everything doesn't always go perfectly, but it really encourages people to understand what's really important in their place. And that sense of placemaking is so important to us as a society. I want to recognise that effort and enthusiasm displayed by those many volunteers spread through every county around the country. And I want to congratulate the recipients in each county for their achievement. Congratulations to them all and to all the recipients here today. I want to join with our Chief Executive in acknowledging our partners and sponsors, and I'd like to acknowledge in particular the work of our Heritage and Biodiversity Officers at local level, who provide invaluable assistance to organisers and indeed who ensure that as wide a variety of events takes place across the country. I wish also to acknowledge the work and support of Minister O'Sullivan, who joined us virtually today for a while, and Minister Brown, because without their continued support, we couldn't do what they do. And indeed, I want to acknowledge the staff of the Department of Housing, Local Government and Heritage. I always try to put it the other way around and put heritage first, but I can't really do that at the moment, for their support to us in the Heritage Council over the years. Finally, a special word of thanks to my colleagues in the Heritage Council who made today's event possible. Particularly, I want to thank Ronan Healy, Martina Malone, Pierce O'Keefe, Susan, Trina and Tara. They have been a wonderful team in organising what I hope you'll join with me in appreciating is a wonderful event. But while I'm buíochas agus mo chogardagus a goáil díobh go léir níis. Cuinigí ormh leis an obair úntachatá dhéanamh guibh agus le cúnamh dé bimid reis a ríis an bhliain se cúing. Go raibh míle maith guibh go léir.
Go hálinn Martina, gur míle mahad. Agus Sinead, okay, thank you so much for being a gorgeous audience here in Kilmainham, and those of you, particularly Paula's sons, tuning in online and everybody else who were with us as well. For those of you here, sorry now for those tuning in online, you won't be getting a lovely lunch, but in the room, in the Great Hall right behind you, lunch is going to be served very, very shortly, so please enjoy. And we hope to see you again next year at the National Heritage Week Awards. Gur míle maith againn. Good play.